Have you ever tried to remove corn kernels from the cob and just gotten frustrated? The kernels get smashed, clumped together, come out all crooked. Sometimes you spend forever and only get a little bit off. Your hands hurt, your nails feel sore, and the kitchen is covered in husks and corn debris. It seems simple, but every time you do it, it just makes you want to give up. If you've ever felt fed up trying to shell corn like that, then today's video is exactly what you've been waiting for. I'm going to show you 4 super quick, super clean, and super satisfying ways to remove corn kernels, all using just a pair of scissors or some other basic kitchen tools. You'll be truly surprised by method number 3. No sore hands, no smashed kernels, and not a single bit of corn wasted. In just 1 minute, you can shell an entire big plate of corn, beautifully, neatly, and ready to use in your favorite dish. Let's get started. Method 1. First, peel off the husk from the corn, but don't throw away the corn silk still clinging to it. You can keep it, rinse it, and boil it to make a cooling and healthy drink. Next, break the corn cob in half crosswise. If the corn is fresh, you'll notice it snaps easily without much effort. Then, grab a pair of scissors. Kitchen scissors are best because they're clean and sturdy, but any scissors will do. Now, insert the tip of the scissors into the center of the cob where you broke it in half. Gently twist and slowly push inward. At this point, the core of the corn will begin to loosen and come apart. Keep twisting a few more times, and the core will naturally split into 2 pieces. Once that happens, all you have to do is gently pull it apart by hand to fully separate the cob's core. And here comes the fun part. With the core removed, the kernels on both sides are no longer held tightly. Just lightly run your fingers along the rows, and the kernels will pop off in strips, perfectly intact and beautiful. You won't need to dig at each kernel with your fingernails. No knives required, no sore hands, and best of all, every kernel stays whole, clean, and ready to cook. Once you get the hang of it, you can shell a whole cob in just a few seconds. Try it once, and you'll never want to go back to the old way again. Method 2. Using a knife to cut the corn kernels. Fast but not perfect. This is probably the most common method that many people still use. After breaking the corn cob in half, stand it upright on a cutting board and use a knife to slice down along the sides to remove the kernels. At first glance, it seems quick and convenient, but in reality, the kernels often get crushed, misshapen, or come out broken. Sometimes part of the kernel's flesh remains stuck to the core, leading to quite a bit of waste. Even the nutritional value can be significantly reduced during processing. On top of that, using a knife carries its own risks, especially if your hands are slippery or the knife isn't sharp. That said, this method still has its own value. Even though the kernels might not look perfect, they're still great for making soup, porridge, corn milk, or any dish where the corn will be blended or pureed. So if you're planning to use corn in recipes that don't require whole kernels, this method is still a decent option, as long as you're careful when cutting. Method 3. Using a screwdriver. Strip corn, row by row, surprisingly fast. It might sound odd, but it's true. A small flathead screwdriver from around the house can actually become a super effective corn removal tool. First, break the corn cob in half to make it easier to handle. Then place 1/2 on a cutting board with the kernels facing up. Pick any row of corn, place the tip of the screwdriver at the base of the first kernel, then gently press and push straight forward. The result? A whole row of corn kernels will pop out cleanly, smoothly, and almost completely intact. From that first row, you can easily use your hand, or keep using the screwdriver, to remove the remaining rows quickly with very little effort. The screwdriver is compact, easy to grip, and lets you work precisely row by row, making it perfect if you want to preserve the shape of each kernel without using scissors or a knife. Note: Make sure the screwdriver is clean and free of grease or rust, since you'll be using it directly on food. If done properly, you'll be surprised by how effective this mechanics tool can be in the kitchen. Pretty simple and easy, right? Method 4. Using the handle of a spoon or fork. Quick, convenient, no special tools needed. If you don't have scissors, a screwdriver, or a proper kitchen knife, this is a great backup method. With just a regular spoon or fork, you can still remove corn kernels quickly and easily. Here's how. After breaking the corn cob in half, simply use the handle of the spoon or fork, the back end of the utensil, and slide it between the core and the first row of kernels. Then push it along the length of the cob. The row of corn will pop out in a strip, clean and mostly intact. From there, you can continue using your hands or the spoon handle to remove the remaining rows. This method doesn't require any sharp tools, is easy to perform, safe, and pretty much anyone can do it on the first try. However, since a spoon handle isn't a specialized tool, it's not quite as precise as scissors or a screwdriver, and it takes a bit of finesse with the first few rows. Still, it's a super convenient way to shell corn when you need to quickly prep a few cobs for stir-frying, soup, cornbread, or salad. So today, I've shared with you 4 simple yet incredibly effective ways to remove corn kernels. Using scissors to twist and split the core, fast, clean, and keeps the kernels intact. Using a knife, common and convenient, great for soups or making corn milk. Using a flathead screwdriver, push row by row, the kernels pop out neatly. Using the handle of a spoon or fork, make use of tools already in your kitchen. Simple and easy to do. Depending on your tools and what you're making, each method works best in different situations. And don't forget, the corn silk that most people throw away is actually very good for your health. You can rinse it clean and boil it into a drink that helps cool the body, detox, support urination, and improve your skin. Add a bit of brown sugar or a touch of raw honey to boost the flavor of the corn silk tea. It may seem like a useless part, but it's incredibly valuable if you know how to use it right. So, which method do you think suits you best? Don't hesitate to leave a comment below to share. I love reading your thoughts. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, save it, and share it with your family and friends. And make sure to subscribe to the Click DIY channel so you don't miss out on more great tips. Thanks for watching until the end. See you in the next video. Love,